All right, so I'm gonna make myself meal one here. Actually, I'm pretty sure I've done this one before on camera. Actually, I know I have, but I made it a little bit differently last time. So I'm gonna do a couple of 98% lean ground chicken patties. All right, I'm actually gonna use, I made this one myself, this seasoning. One seasoning that I've gotten recently that I haven't filmed on here yet that is really solid is chipotle chili. Has a very strong chipotle taste to it. The chili is potent, so it's pretty spicy. But basically I use that chipotle powder, just a small amount of that in here, a good amount of onion powder, a good amount of garlic powder, just a tad bit of smoked paprika, and then a small bit of additional non-smoked paprika. And then I mix it up really well. No salt or anything in there yet. I'm gonna salt it separately. And I'm gonna just go with about 60 grams of chicken. This is just raw 98% lean ground chicken. I'm putting absolutely nothing else in there. No eggs to bind, no breadcrumbs, nothing like that. And then I'm just going to season this pretty liberally here. Smush that down into a patty. And then I got another 60 grams, I'm at 63 grams here, but nonetheless, season again, already smells really good from the other seasonings cooking. Put a little bit of coconut oil in the pan to get it going. So we got that in there. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Probably should have shut off the camera at this point. Probably the worst thing I could have done for a video that I'm going to post on YouTube was just leave it going for like 30 seconds with absolutely nothing going on, especially when you don't know how to edit. But I'm going to get my eggs cracked up and start mixing those. So I'm going to scramble some eggs. Yeah, and then we'll get going on some oatmeal. All right, I'm not entirely sure why, but I'm feeling some oats today. I don't typically do oats. I'm not as much of an oat fan. But I'm gonna roll some oats there. I'm gonna roll some oats. So we're gonna grab a nice bowl for some oats. Where's my scale? Gonna go with 60 grams of oats, a little bit less than. All right, we got our dark chocolate that's gonna go on top, but first, here's one of the keys to success. All right, we got our banana, and this is the way you gotta do this, right? The banana goes in first. I'm gonna dice this up. I didn't reset the scale. So that's 40 grams. Just a solid, that's a little bit more than 50. That's 60 grams actually. So we will get that going in there, right. Now we're gonna hit it with a little bit of this cinnamon. I would say about a teaspoon of cinnamon, but the cinnamon really to your preference. I'm not a big cinnamon guy. Gonna hit it with just a little bit of salt. Cinnamon's one of those things that has to come in conjunction with something else for me. I don't like cinnamon. A lot of people put it all over their oats, all over their, Greek yogurt and all that different stuff. I'm not enough of a fan of cinnamon for that. This cinnamon's gonna come with the banana maple syrup that I put on here. All right, I got a little bit of sweetener in there. You know, I like, it's got to be something that makes sense for me with cinnamon, like cinnamon brown sugar and maple syrup. There's no water in that. There's no water in there. Hit it with a little bit of water. And I'm going to just cover it with water. I'm going to hit it for 1.5 to 2 minutes, depending on what those bananas need. All right, now this is just about done. I'm going to flip this back over. I'm going to turn the heat all the way off, but I'm going to put a lid on there and let that basically finish cooking. And now we can move on to our pan here that was already preheated. A little bit of coconut oil. Let's get those eggs in there. And we're gonna work them. Don't let your eggs sit, especially on a hot pan. Make sure you move those things around right away. I would say like 90% of people that I see cooking eggs definitely overcook their eggs. At least overcook it to my liking. Like this right here would be pretty good. All right, see how it's still got a little bit of liquid in there? I don't know if you guys can actually see that or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the heat. That's it for the eggs. So I'm gonna hit these guys with a little bit of potassium. This is just some low salt. This doesn't add flavor or anything. I just want to get more potassium in my diet, so I'll use a little bit of that from moment to moment. I like my eggs nice and salty. So that was 1.5 minutes. I just covered it with water, and this is pretty good. Might even need to add a little bit of liquid here. Actually, that's pretty good. So what we'll do is we'll move that out of the way, this out of the way. You can hear that's kind of still going. I'm gonna move that off the heat entirely. We got some leftover banana for later. Now we're gonna hit this with just a solid square of dark chocolate. This is gonna be about 10 grams, 12 grams. I have a lot of fat in this meal, so I'm not trying to go crazy. I accidentally, I'm gonna go with some blueberries on top. I accidentally, last night, I made chicken burgers. Use the same 98% lean ground chicken I just made, or used. 75 grams of blueberries. And I made an avocado, took an avocado, crushed it up, seasoned it, you know, yada yada, made a little spread for the burgers. Completely and totally forgot them in there, in the fridge, the avocado. And now it's gonna go bad if I don't use it. And I feel like I'm wasting it if I don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of that avocado spread on these burgers that I got here. And I'm gonna use a sugar-free maple syrup. This is one that actually my kids like this, believe it or not. There's not enough. I wanted that just to save some calories. Balance is what they say, you know? A little bit of balance, a little bit of balance. But we do have 100% pure maple syrup. I'm gonna go with just a little bit of that. Be careful here. Just an extra 10 grams of maple syrup on top. That'll be plenty. So now I'm gonna grab my plate. Get my burgers on there. And then I got this kind of guac, if you would, that I made last night. So again, this just has, this is just avocado with onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper. I think that's it. Oh, lime juice and some lime juice. They probably protected it throughout the night. I'm gonna hit just a little bit on here. Probably gonna end up with like 30 grams total on here. Maybe I'll do some chicken burgers later and film it and actually use this. Even though I don't know how much longer this has got before it starts to get gross. Actually, it's still pretty good. Still pretty good. Then we'll hit our eggs on here, and we got ourselves a nice, quick, easy breakfast. This took me a few minutes to make. A couple of chicken patties, seasoned really well, even though I didn't put any salt on them. And then we got our eggs, scrambled, oatmeal, bananas, blueberries, dark chocolate, 100% pure maple syrup. Doesn't get more nutritious.